Hello everyone and welcome to the final day 7 of the September daily challenges. My name is Anik. I have been your instructor for these daily challenges, and first of all, my apologies for the late video today. We were just giving all of you another chance to be on top of the leaderboard, and so we just let you guys keep participating. But yeah, now it's about time to release the solution. So for those of you who don't know at all what's going on, what the idea is behind this, basically every day we launch a daily challenge. That's why it's launched every day at 6 p.m. and at 6 p.m. Basically the challenge is open to you. At 9 p.m. we discuss the solution, and you can look at the solution and you can try it out yourself. This has been going on since the last week, since 24th September, and every day, and today is the last day. And the theme this time has been FANG, that is all of the product based companies. And today's question was actually based on previously asked Facebook question. So again, it's similar to a previously asked Facebook question. We've changed it a little bit so that we can explore some more concepts with you. But before I go ahead, I really want to give a huge shout out and congratulations to all of the people who are on top of the leaderboard. So while I'm shooting this video, these are the people on the top, but things may change. So do stay on the lookout for an official email from Edist. But yeah, currently speaking, these are the winners, and a huge congratulations to Shravani. Shravani especially has been on the top for many of our other daily challenges. So I'm really glad to see you again here. So Shravani, congrats. Satya Sai, congrats. Harshvardhan, Pravalika, Sakila, Durga, Devika, Anu, Sri Ganga, all of you scored 300 points. Really big congratulations. Some of you have been so constant with Edist that it's so I'm so used to seeing your names here. I really want to congratulate you, because these weren't like super easy questions, these were difficult questions. So really glad to see that you have been performing well. And Bhagati Jogarao, I mean, I saw you have been online, and in fact you've been on the top for the last 2-3 daily challenge, like day 8, day 9, even day 7, I guess. Sorry, I mean to say day 5, day 6, and even like day 4. I think you just missed out on day 7 somehow, but congratulations. You've been doing really well, and I hope you've learned a lot during these challenges. That's what matters the most, because everyone what we've been again and again trying to tell you is that you should learn, and you should treat these challenges as an ideal way to prepare for product companies. So in case you've not been able to do well, I hope you've learned some stuff here, and if you've not, then you know that you have to prepare more for these product companies. All right, so let's dive straight into the question, which is called destroy a graph. And as you can just see by the name, that it is, yes, a graph question. And so the graph question looks like this. We're given an undirected graph, and for those of you who don't know graphs or have never seen graphs, then this might seem a little bit new. I would suggest you go ahead and check out some introductory graph tutorials. That's very important for you to do. But for those of you who know it, I think this will be pretty straightforward. So instance understanding this one. So it's an undirected graph. That means all the nodes are connected to each other, but the edges aren't directed. So they are not like going only from one place to another. I mean, you can go from one node to another, and you can come back on the same edge as well. The nodes are numbered from 1 to n. Okay, great. And there's a cost associated with it. Again, a standard motif in most of these graph questions. To remove a node I from the graph, the cost required is Cn1 plus Cn2 all the way up to Cnk, which is basically if you remove a node, these n1 n2 are nothing but the neighbors of that node. So if I remove a node, the cost of removing the node will be the sum of its neighbors. Okay, so find the minimum total cost to remove all the nodes n from the graph. All right, so we'll look at this through an example, and I know many of you are looking at it for the first time. So I will take the first example, it's shorter. So you're looking at graph for the first time. If it's a little bit overwhelming, then please do watch out for our graphs tutorials. We're going to do a series on graphs, so please do watch out for that. That will be very important for you. Okay, so this is what we have to do is basically figure out what's the minimum cost that we can remove the entire graph, and that will obviously depend on in which order are we removing, right? So what this means here is there's in input we're given n and m. Again, fairly standard. N is the number of nodes in the graph, and m is the number of edges. N here, basic 10, 20, 30, 40 are for each node what is the cost. So for node 1 the cost is 10, node 2 the cost is 20, node 3 the cost is 30, and node 4 the cost is 40. Again, standard stuff in graphs, that you will be given the number of nodes and the number of edges. and these edges are 1, 4. That is the number of that is between node 1 and node 4 there is an edge, between node 1 and node 2 there is an edge, and between node 2 and node 3 there is an edge. So you can draw this out. I'm not drawing it out here, but on your own pen and paper you can just draw this out and check it. So what we are going to do is try to see just one example. Let's say I want to remove in this order 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I'll first remove 1, then I'll remove 2, then I'll remove 3 and remove 4. To remove 1, I will take the cost of its neighbors, right? So the cost of its neighbor is cost of 4 plus cost of 2, because 1 is connected to 4 and 1 is connected to 2, which is 10 plus 40, right? Plus the cost of removing 2. Cost of removing 2 is cost of 1 plus cost of 3, but 1 has already been removed. We just removed 1. So it's only cost of 3, which is 30, right? Plus cost of removing 3. Now 3 has no more neighbors left. It only had 2, but 2 also got removed. So this cost will be 0. And cost of removing 4 will also be 0 because 4 has no more neighbors left. So it's going to be 0. So this costs us how much? 10 plus 40 is 50, 80. So the entire cost is 80. Can we bring it down even further? Let's say I was doing it in this order, 2, 3, 1, 4, right? Let's say I was doing it in this order. Then how would it be? Let me remove 2 first. If I remove 2, then the cost of its neighbor is 1 and 3. So that's 10 plus 30. Okay. So that's we got 10 plus 30 here. Plus removing 3. If I remove 3, then the cost of 2 is there, but 2 has already been removed. So great. Plus removing 1. To remove 1, it's cost of 4 plus 2, but 2 has already been removed. So it's only cost of 4, which is 40, right? Plus cost of removing 4. Now there's only 4 left, so it's 0. So we are getting a cost of 80 over here, right? Can we reduce this further? I mean, let's look at this way, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So if I remove 4, its neighbor is only 1. So that cost is going to be 10. If I remove 2, its neighbor is 1 and 3, but 1 has already been removed. So it's only going to be cost of 30. If I remove 3, well, 2 was its only neighbor, so its cost is 0 because it's already removed. If I look at, okay, sorry, I think I messed up. If I look at 4, one second, I think I messed up over here. If I look at 4, the cost is 10, right? Because it is associated to only 1 as a neighbor. If I look at 3, 3 is associated only to 2 as a neighbor, right? So the cost is 20 for it, right? So yeah, 3 is associated to 2. So now 3 is also removed. Now we are left with 2. 2 is associated now only to 1, which is about 10. And to remove 1, now there are no more neighbors left. So this is here. And the cost for this is 40, right? So the cost comes for 40. And if you try any other way, the minimum you're going to get is 40. You're not going to get more than that. So what's the idea here? What did we see? Well, if you look at it, this 40 will contribute to the most to the cost if it is not removed at the start, right? Because all of its neighbors will incur 40 unless 40 is removed. If 40 is removed, then great. Let's say 40, sorry, I think I just deleted 40. Okay. If let's say 40 was connected by 3 neighbors, then every time each of those neighbors is removed, 40 is contributing to that cost, right? Which is not a good thing to do, right? What we need is that this 40 shouldn't come as many times because it is contributing the most. Whereas if I remove 40 in the first go itself, all of its neighbors cost will definitely come, but by definition all of its neighbors cost is less than 40. Why? Because 40 is the maximum number here. So what I'm saying is, if I start by the maximum number and I keep going and removing the maximum weighted cost or the maximum node, then all of its neighbors, right, definitely they will have a certain cost. But if you had removed those neighbors first, then 40 would have contributed to the cost. So it's always better to remove the costlier one, right? So for example, here 4 is connected to 1 and 2 is also connected to 1, correct? Now, when I go to remove 4, I am only considering 1. Whereas if I go to remove 1, what will happen? I will have to consider both 4 and 2. When I remove this 1, 4 edge, basically, when I remove the edge 1, 4, I would rather take the cost of 1 than rather take the cost of 4, right? So when will I take the cost of 1? When I'm removing 4, because 4's cost is its neighbor's cost, right? If I remove 1, then I will have to take 4's cost. So the idea is try to remove the maximum one so that you don't incur its cost, right? Because the edge is, for each edge we would want to get the minimum cost possible to remove that edge. So that's what we'll do. We'll try to remove the maximum cost first, and we'll keep removing the maximum cost node again and again. And that's pretty much it. Every time we remove that maximum cost, so the approach will be this, go through, right? So approach is this, go through, traverse each node in descending order of cost, right? This is what we're going to do. And remove node and mark it as removed. Cost of removing node is sum of all non-removed neighbors cost. That's pretty much it, right? So if all the non-removed neighbors, whatever the cost is, we're just going to add all of them, right? And how do we know if it's removed or not? Because we are already storing it. We'll store it in a set, so that or a hash map, whichever you want, so that you can get it in a order one lookup, basically. Like you can just get whether it's been removed or not. That's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and implement this one, right? I'll implement in Python again, but you'll have the solution in C++ also, because many of you have been asking. So I'll just implement this quickly in Python. I've implemented this before, so let me just skip through the input taking part. I'll just get the input taking part right away, because I already implemented this right now. So this is all the input taking, and the thing in the graphs is that the input taking part is quite long. So this is all of that. So I'll just do that. So basically nm, we're taking the list values, right? The n and m, that's the number of nodes, and m is the number of edges. We took that, right? Once you've taken that, cost list is this list map int input.split. Basically after that we get all of the list of costs, right? We're getting all the costs here. Once we got the costs, what we're going to do is we're going to map each number to a cost over here. The reason is because we'll want to sort this by the cost, right? If we just keep it as a list, and if we sort that, then what will happen is the numbers will sort, but the indexes won't. The indexes won't accompany. So what we're basically doing is we're mapping u plus 1. That is, for index 0, we're saying that index 1 has certain cost, index 2 has certain cost. Why are we doing that? Because it's 1 based indexing in the edges. So in the edges over here, what you're getting is 1. You don't see a 0 anywhere, because it's 1 based indexing in the edges. It starts from 1. So we map all of the costs map to this list. Adjacency, ADJ, is also called adjacency, is the map of, or it's a dictionary of, what it will contain is, it will contain a node and it will contain a list of all of its neighbors, right? So I'll actually define this part, this make edge method, right? The make edge method, what it will do is, because after you get the costs, after you're getting the cost, then you're going to go through the m edges, and for each edge you're going to actually make that edge, right? So let's define that edge, and this is a fairly standard approach again in what do you say, graphs. So I think you should all be familiar with this, u, v and adj. That is between u, v, between two nodes u and v, we want to create an edge, and the way we do that is adjacency. Basically what we'll check is first, if does u even exist. If u in adj, that means does the u key even exist. If it doesn't, so I'll first do if u not in adj, then what am I going to do? Adj of u is equal to a blank list. I'll just explain this. And if v not in adj, then adj, that's adjacency of v, is equal to the blank list. So what we're basically saying is, if u doesn't exist, mark it as a blank list, that is, it has no neighbors, and mark that v is, if v doesn't exist, then mark that v also doesn't have any neighbors. But now we know that you're supposed to make an edge between u and v. So what we're going to do is adju dot append v and adj v dot append u, right? So what we're saying is, okay, it may or may not be an empty thing. So for example, if this is not empty, we'll just skip it. And what you're going to do is, for u, append v as a node. So that means that u's neighbor is v, and for v's neighbor is u, right? That's what we have appended over here. If it was something like a directed graph, then we would not do this v dot append u, because we would have made only an edge from u to v. So we would keep that into mind, right? So now that adjacency has been made, and now initially the total cost to remove is 0, right? Now the next part I want you to pay attention, because what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the elements in the graph, and we're going to go through each node, but we're going to make sure that we are going in descending order of the cost of the nodes, right? So we're going to go in descending order of the cost of the nodes. So how do we end up doing that? Well, so I'll show you how you can do that. So because this adjacency is sorry, not adjacency, this cost is a map, right? Basically it's a dictionary. What we have to do is we have to go for let's say node in sorted U. So if you did this, right, what it will do is it will give you all of the, sorry, what am I doing? Sort, it's not sorted U. And okay, let me keep this as U. For U in sorted cost underscore map, right? So this is the thing, costs underscore map. For U in sorted cost underscore map, what you're going to get in for U in sorted cost underscore map is basically all of the keys, but all of the keys will be sorted. We don't want the keys to be sorted, we want the values to be sorted. That is, each cost of it has to be sorted. So to get that, what we can do is we can actually get the key value pair, right? And so one of the ways you can do that is do dot item. Now what this item will do is it's going to get you a tuple, right? Or tuple or a tuple of, you know, so then what you're going to get here is a pair, right? So for pair is what you're going to get, right? So for pair in this, you're going to get a tuple, and the tuple will basically consist of the key value pair, right? So that's one particular item, right? And here in this case, we have only an integer and an integer, the node thing and the cost of it, right? So we got this, but we also want to make sure that how are we sorting it? We want to sort it on key is equal to lambda x, right? We want to sort it on x of 0, sorry, x of 1. We want to sort it on the cost, and then we want to sort it on x of 0. I mean, that doesn't really matter. We just want to sort it on x of 1 basically, right? So this should also do. So we want to sort it on the values itself, the cost of it, right? And the other thing we also want to do is we want it to be in descending order. So what we do is reverse is equal to true. Now this has nothing to do with graphs per se. It's just a Python technique, and in your programming language there will be a technique of how you can do it, how you can sort it by a custom sort. So that's what we're doing here. Take the dictionary, sort all of the values by the actual value, not by the index of it, but I would index of the node, but I would rather want to sort it by the cost of the node, right? So we got this pair, and what you can say is the current node is equal to pair of 0, right? That's what we know, right? And then what we want to do is we want to get the total cost. Total cost is equal to total cost plus cost of removing, right? So cost underscore removing of what are we trying to remove over here? We are trying to remove the current node. We're trying to remove the current node, and we'll pass the cost map to it. We also need to pass the adjacency to it, right? So we'll pass the adjacency, and we'll also pass the removed list, right? So removed is a set which we've created here, which is just being used to check whether an element is removed or not, right? And we'll keep adding all the removed elements here. So this is what is a function, and we're going to define this function right now, right? This is what it is. But once this function is done, what we're going to do is print total underscore cost. That's what we're going to do, right? So now all it goes to is actually writing the removed function, right? So def cost removing, and how are we going to do it? To remove the current node, what we will do is first of all mark that the current node is removed. So removed dot add current underscore node. So we first mark that the current node has to, you know, actually be removed. Okay, that's great. Then what are we going to do? So we have to go through all of the neighbors, right? And then sum up all of their costs, right? So we'll first say removal underscore cost is 0. We'll take that the initial cost is 0. So for I in neighbors, or yeah, for neighbor in ADJ rather, for neighbor in adjacency of the current node. So whatever are the neighbors of it, for neighbor in adjacency of current node, what are we going to do? We're going to check if neighbor not in removed. So it's not yet removed. If the neighbor hasn't been removed, then what we're going to do is we're going to say removal underscore cost is equal to removal underscore cost plus cost underscore map or costs, actually costs underscore map of neighbor. So it's nothing but we're going to say whatever the neighbor's cost is, we're going to add that here, right? And if it's not yet removed, yeah, that's mainly it, right? So we're going through all of the neighbors, and this is what we're going to do. Is there anything left for us to do apart from this one? Yeah, we just need to return the removal cost. So return removal underscore cost, right? Oh yeah, one edge case which we missed is it could just be possible that there are no more neighbors left, or we never actually had the neighbors for this node in the first place, right? So for example, we are given m edges here, right? So for example here, if it was given like 1 2 1 4 1 2 and no 2 3, right? So that means 3 is alone, but we would not get that over here, right? So what are we going to do is we will check if current underscore node is equal to if a current node in adjacency. If the current node is in the adjacency, then do this, right? For neighbor in adjacency of current node, that is go through all the neighbors. If neighbor is not in the removed, then the removal cost is so and so, return the removal cost, right? Okay, and this is the total cost, print the total cost. Let's see if you have any compilation errors. I'm pretty sure we have. Okay, has no thing called item, right? Did we make, yeah, sorry, it's not item, it's items. I'm sorry for that. It should be the method is called items, not item. Yeah, we ran it, it passes, and on submitting also it passed all of the test cases, right? Again, if you look at it in keeping with our theme of this is just about a 44-line code, and those of you, some of you who've been seasoned at these kind of things will be thinking I could have reduced the lines even more. I've taken unnecessarily long variable names and all. Well, first of all, keep your variable names so good so that anybody can read it, can understand it. Two main concepts that we covered here was how to sort a dictionary, and this has nothing to do with the graphs as such, but it's a good technique. While you did this in Python and you might be thinking this is super tricky, it's not really once you figure out, you know, that it's not that difficult. But really it's available in your language also, be it Java, be it C++, you know, it's really available in your language. That's the first thing. The second thing that we did was we observed a pattern that if you remove the highest cost node first, then it will not interfere when you're removing the other nodes. That is, it won't contribute its cost to removing the other nodes, right? So that's the other thing that we noticed here. So yeah, the solution for this will be available by tomorrow over here in the form of a hint, which you can exchange some points and get a hint here as well, get the solution. So we'll be sharing that. And that's mainly it. It's been a very fruitful day, 7-day daily challenges. We've had thousands of students join up, and it was really good to see so many of you interested in product level companies challenges. We are going to do another set of daily challenges in October. A lot of you have been asking about TCS NQT. We are going to launch TCS NQT solutions as well soon. We are also launching an algorithms data structures course too, so you will get one-on-one interaction with me, with the Edis team. If you want to run data structures and algorithms, we'll be more than happy to have you on that. So that's really it from us. If you enjoyed this, shoot us an email to team@edis.com, which you could find over here, and also write, you can also WhatsApp us, and stay tuned for our email about the winners of the daily challenge. It's been really great to have all of you, and do look out for our next set of daily challenges. Today's question was a destroy graph, previously asked question of Facebook. That marks the end of 7-day daily challenge of September. Wishing everybody all the best, and see you all soon. Thank you.